On New Country, B97.9. And I got the LoCash Cowboys in studio with me right now. Chris and Preston, guys, how are y'all doing? So, y'all ready for tonight's show?
We are. We got our coffee going, and we got our New Country B97.9 cups, our mugs.
Nice. You're going to have those on stage with you?
I'm going to have mine on stage tonight. That's
nice. Right. Good. That's what I like to hear.
Yep. I don't know if coffee's going to be in it, though.
Well, y'all can use those as red solo
like
cups.
Coffee liqueur or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they can double as a red solo cup.
Spiked coffee?
Cool.
Yep.
I'm in with that.
Well, it's going to be a great show, I know, tonight coming up. Roxy's in Cape. And have y'all played in Cape before ever?
I don't believe so. This could be our very first time ever. So
we're...
Yeah, a lot of calls.
I didn't know there was a Cape in Missouri.
Cape Girardeau.
Yeah, Girardeau. That's pretty cool, though.
Rush Limbaugh's from there.
Really? They just call it Cape for short.
There's Cape.
Yeah.
Much easier. And I can't really say Girardeau.
Yeah, not to be confused with the singer back in the 90s.
Not to be confused with Cape Buffalo. That's right.
All right, fresh off the World Series, I got to ask y'all baseball fans?
Of course we are.
Y'all Cardinal fans?
You know, actually, we're Cubby fans.
Cubbies.
We like the Cubs.
Yeah. Well, Blake DeWitt, isn't he a Cub?
Yeah.
Right? So he's from here, Sykes.
Is he really?
So, yeah.
Have they made their decision on manager yet?
I think they're asking us.
I hope so.
I'm just glad LaRusso's gone. I'm a Ranger fan, so this is very brutal.
Oh yeah, you're hurting.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I bet, but if I did bet, I made a bet, maybe, technically.
You might have.
Yeah, what's it like to, oh my God, I'm going to win it, and then, boom.
Yeah, it was rough.
You know what I mean?
That's when I made the bet.
Well, if I made Nolan Ryan's blessing. I mean, it was like...
I made the bet during Game 6 with my buddy Brink, and it was if the Rangers win, he wears a Texas Rangers ball cap. If Cardinals win, and they did, I have to wear a Cardinals ball cap. So tonight, I'm going to be sport for a week. I'm going to be sporting a Cardinals hat starting tonight.
You have to sleep in it too and shower too?
It's
weird.
Yeah. It's probably going
but still, you know.
It's probably going to meet the trash.
Do you think you might break out in hives?
Probably so.
You're going to get a Cardinals tattoo?
Kind of like a bee sting.
It's
kind of like a bee sting. Yeah.
I hate bee stings. I'm allergic to bees.
He might be allergic to Cardinal hats.
And I am.
Very much Cardinals the birds.
Yeah.
Just gonna get away from Cardinals.
I mean, and I like hunting, so I might go shoot some cardinal birds.
Make you feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's totally against the law, but
sure.
I mean,
it's okay.
No big deal. I guess
it's now that you say that, but
in Missouri. I mean, I guess in Missouri you can do stuff like that.
I think you could do that.
We'll just keep it between us.
Yeah, we won't say anything.
Yeah, we won't tell anybody if you don't.
I'll just take a picture and put it on Facebook.
Okay, that works.
Nobody will know.
Facebook's horrible.
Poor little red birds.
All right, 2011 CMA Music Festival. You'll get a chance to participate in that this year. What was y'all's favorite part?
Man,
well, I would have to say the biggest thing for us was just being on River Stage. You know, I mean, that's awesome. Being down there amongst all those awesome artists who have big hit songs, and everybody's coming down to the Riverside to watch the show, and that's just a really cool feeling.
Awesome. And the fact that Billy Gilman came up to you and gave you a hug.
Oh, little Billy?
Well, he's not Little Billy anymore.
He had no idea who he was, man. Because he don't look like Billy Gilman anymore. He's a big boy now. Still got a great voice,
but I did not know it was Billy.
Did you ask for his ID?
Oh, well, he just gave me a hug and said, man, great show, you know. And I said, cool. I said, what's your name?
He got slapped with a lawsuit right after that.
Chris was like, I'm like, well, sorry, man. I didn't mean it. Well, you're all grown up now, you know. I mean, jump from like 4 foot high to like, you know.
How tall is he?
Probably about 6 foot.
Gosh.
I know.
What were they feeding him?
I don't know if he's 6 foot, but he was tall enough to throw me off. You know, I mean, he was different. I felt bad. I thought, of course you're Billy Gilman. I'm just kidding. Of course you are.
I knew that.
So what's he doing now? Working at McDonald's?
You know, he was actually going on to do a set that day.
Really?
And so he's still hanging in there, man. He's got a classic voice, and you know, we'll see what happens. You know, I haven't heard anything from him lately, but
neither have I. That's why I was asking.
This business
he did
is
like
so
a
crazy,
Christian
man.
album or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I could be making that up, but maybe
yeah.
Not.
He might pop out.
All right, see, I'll also get a chance to participate in one of my favorite shows on the Travel Channel, Man vs. Food Nation.
Oh yeah.
Man. Still full.
We'll never eat steak again.
A 72-ounce steak.
Yeah, is bigger than you can ever even imagine.
Yeah, when you think, oh, that's
Think 72 ounces. Get it in your mind.
Yeah.
Now is it there?
Oh, yeah.
It's 4
okay.
pounds.
It's twice as big as what you think. when it comes out and it's in front of you on a plate, you have a mild panic attack before you ever even take a bite. And, you know, on
when
TV...
you're at our show, look at our poster, the one that's hanging up, and imagine about 4 inches with that thickness.
Okay, where are you going with this? Now you're starting to freak me out here, Chris.
4 inches of thickness.
You get delusional when you eat a 72-ounce steak. Listen to Chris. He can't stop himself.
It's juicy.
So you had signs with the steak too, though, right?
I don't know about you,
steak
Chris, but you're going to need to imagine more on my side. 4 inches is not quite enough. Sorry, we're not supposed to be saying. When you got the PD about to spit coffee everywhere, that's a good sign.
Kids, we are talking about steak. We're talking about steak.
Now, y'all had a salad with the steak too, though, right? And a baked potato?
Yes, it was a nice sized baked potato.
Where are we going with this interview? Let's talk about music
Topped with sour cream.
before someone comes and shuts us all down.
We'll move past this and...
Oh my God.
We did eat the whole thing.
It's not you, man. It's Chris. He's still delusional.
Now, didn't you get sick, though, off the...
Dude,
He needs a defibber.
he became a health specialist, man. He had so many health problems after eating that thing.
Dude, I'm still in the hospital via satellite right now. I'm not even in the studio. I'm hooked up to IVs as we speak.
So, Preston, you actually really got sick off a steak.
I really did. You know, that night when the show was over, of course, everybody's like, and that's a wrap. And everybody cheers, and it's typical to have, like, a bunch of drinking going on, and everybody goes out on the town with the crew and Adam and everybody. Well, me and Chris are just left sitting at the table holding our bellies like old men. You know, we're like, what are we supposed to do? We can't go out. So Adam comes over and says, well, this is the part of the show nobody ever sees, but I have a team of doctors around me that take care of me after the shows. While everybody else goes out and parties, I have to go back to my hotel and take care of things. And
Cleansing.
Which, yeah, was a cleansing. And you have to drink some Miralax, and you have to drink a lot of Gatorade. You can't get anything in your body at that point. You are so full.
Well, after a 72-ounce steak,
You
I'm
can't
you're
even
ready to
imagine
run
taking
4
a drink
miles.
of water.
You're ready to run. Like the iron in your blood's making you like you feel like, you know, you're Lance Armstrong. You can like ride a bike up through all,
Yeah.
you know.
So it was pretty intense. So we did the cleansing and everything, and
It wasn't a full cleanse.
you know,
And
a
you
couple
prayed?
days later, everything. Yeah, a couple days later, you're feeling a little bit better, and things get going, and then all of a sudden, I got sick, and I went into the doctor. I just thought I had the flu, you know. Went into the doctor, and you don't have the flu, man. You know, we've given you some medicine. You didn't get any better. And so I was like, wow, I wonder what this is. You know, I was starting to get worried, and they said, it's the steak. I just kept hearing this voice.
Yeah,
in
what,
my
and
head,
what do
"It's the
doctors know? It took Chris here to
I
say what
told
it
him a
was.
million
Right.
times, dude. A million times. But when your levels are all knocked out of whack, man, I mean, you gotta worry. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
So we
my
shot
liver-
this episode in March, and I literally, just 3 months ago, leveled back out. Perfect again. And then I had to do another test just to be sure, but everything's good now. But, you know, the only thing they could associate any of that sickness to was the steak. I mean, you just put so much. I mean, you're just overload on all that, you know, the iron and all that stuff in your
So
body.
you're not going to do that show ever again?
Unless it's ice cream.
We would do, if it was pancakes, I would
Ice
do
cream or
it.
pancakes. We can mix them both. Ice cream and pancakes.
Listen to us, we're
Ooh,
like
that's
old
delicious.
pros. If it was
That-
ice cream or
Dude, that's
pancakes,
a-
we'd do it
We
again.
gotta call Ben and Jerry's about that.
We should get on that.
Pancake ice cream.
CJ, can you get on
Dude.
that?
They already
Seriously,
have one of
man.
my. It's got to be Cracker Barrel pancake ice cream.
Whatever.
It can't just be
Oh.
any. It's got to be specific.
I'm getting hungry.
I have pancakes all over the country.
We should go to Cracker
Let me
Barrel
say-
after this, too.
Is there a
Dude.
Cracker Barrel? And
Yeah.
Cape?
Yes.
Cape Cracker Barrel?
Man, Cracker Barrels and Starbucks.
Hey, there's a Starbucks in Cape too.
We can hit them
What?
all up.
Let's do it. Guys, I don't know if there's gonna be enough time. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what our day's gonna be like yet. I just
Preston's
don't
the one
know.
that's got
Plans right now.
I just don't know. I
We'll
mean,
just scratch
there's
everything,
just so much
Cracker
to
Barrel
do.
and Starbucks.
Okay, one. Just one. Put it in my cup. Let's go. It's just so good. It's your lips. It's my lips. It's so good.
He's like, everybody's doing it, come on.
Oh, man, I love it.
All right, so I got a chance to play the Grand Ole Opry. I got to talk about this.
This message brought to you by
Don't know what I'm
ADD medicine. Here we are.
How was getting a chance to actually play the Opry stage? I mean, that's got to be amazing.
Man, on a serious note, yeah, that was probably one of the biggest highlights that's ever happened.
Oh, now we get serious?
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
only for like a minute.
Okay.
And you did that, you did that back in May, right?
Yeah, yes, it was May, and you know, my father had just passed away, and we were talking. You know, my brother here, Preston, he was just as close to my dad too, and we got in there and we had to sing "Keep in Mind," which is one of the hardest songs for us to sing after any passing or like that, because it's about your parents. And we got to sing it, man, and I swear, chill bumps to this day. I'll never forget it.
I'll tell you what made that night even extra special was when you're making your debut at the Opry. They got this circle out on stage, and it's a piece of wood that has always been there for all time. And if some of you have never seen it, it's on stage level, but it's a circle of wood that's different from the rest of the stage. And anybody who's ever played the Opry steps into the circle.
It's the original.
That's where the
pieces
microphone
on the
waits
stage.
for you. There's a special spotlight on that circle. So when you step into that circle, you're standing in the exact same place that, you know, anybody who's ever played the Opry has stood right there. So you get chill bumps. I mean, it's a big, big moment. And so to get into the circle on your debut night, you have to be invited.
Yeah.
By an existing member. And so that particular night, Larry Gatlin was there to invite us into the circle. And he goes out on stage and he said, man, ladies and gentlemen, when you bought tickets to the Opry tonight, you didn't know this was going to be a debut night for an artist. And this is a special thing. Chris and I are standing off the edge of the stage, and you know, we're just like getting more nervous and more nervous.
Yeah.
And
They're not going to come out here and mess up.
yeah, you know.
Are you?
And so he says, you know, I remember my first time stepping into the circle, and it's just something that you never forget. So make them feel welcome, you know, on their debut night, and he introduces us and gives us this big hug, and it was just...
It was Mother's Day, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it was Mother's Day weekend, and we had all our mothers in the
What a
crowd.
moment. I mean, just like so many emotions on so many different levels, you know, with Chris's dad, and Mother's Day weekend, and Larry Gatlin, and it's our first time at the Opry, and we're singing Keep in Mind, and it's like...
Overwhelming.
You know, it really
We
was
got a standing
overwhelming.
ovation. That was awesome.
That's nice.
That was
That's
really,
nice.
really cool.
Yeah. So, and I play the piano on Keep in Mind on that particular part, and I didn't know that Larry Gatlin had sat down right behind me on stage and was kind of just listening as part of the band almost. You know, he's out there with us. And so we get to this big moment where the drums kind of crash and the song kind of just explodes right there. And he was like, yeah! And he's right behind my back. I was like, ah! He was scaring me to death. And I look back, and here's Larry Gatlin on stage with us. And I was like, could it get any cooler, really? You know, I mean, what a moment. So, take those memories with you forever, you know?
So if y'all play the Opry again, and when y'all do,
Mm-hmm.
can I go with y'all?
Come
Oh,
on, man.
yeah, man.
Because I want to stand on the
drum
stage.
riser. Yeah, sit on the drum riser.
When
like
we go
Larry
on
Gatlin.
tour with Garth, you can come with us, too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I hope
We're
that
announcing
happens.
that tour tonight.
Does Garth know?
Yeah,
no
yeah,
idea. We're going on
it's a
tour.
Garth's camp, but
That's
y'all-
how we
y'all
got
go
our
and put that
Budweiser
out
deal
there.
back in
It's
the
in the
day.
works.
People are like, how'd you get a deal with Budweiser? Nobody gets a deal with Budweiser. Like, well, actually, we endorsed them.
We did.
We just started. It's a true story. We started just drinking Budweiser, and we wouldn't take any other kind of beer.
I gained 25 pounds, and then they came out with
Yeah.
Budweiser Select, and I was like, and I lost 25 pounds.
They suggested we go to Budweiser Select. They're like, boys, we're gonna put you with Bud Select. We're gonna help you guys get back to your normal way. But anyway, we endorsed them, and then eventually they came and said, what's going on? We don't really have a deal with you guys. They're like, oh yes,
But
you
we're
do.
selling cases like crazy at your
So y'all forced Budweiser. I like that.
Yeah, and
That's
so
what we're
now,
doing with our-
you know, now we don't have a deal with them anymore. So you know, we're looking for a new
Beer sponsor?
maybe, or energy drink, or
Another
cracker.
John
Maybe
Bell.
that-
George, take a note.
Man.
Yeah,
Ben and Jerry.
our promotion guy, George, he can get y'all hooked up with something. I
Come
promise.
on, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Probably a Chevy Camaro deal.
Oh, no, wait a minute. We haven't gotten those
Yeah,
yet. So.
all right.
Yeah.
We're waiting on the delivery of the Dodge trucks right now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. I have a Dodge.
Well, we got more with the LoCash Cowboys a little bit later on this hour, guys. They're going to stick around for a little bit, right?
Yeah, man, we're
Yeah,
here, man.
we ain't going anywhere.
Cracker Barrel, if you're here, deliver something.
We're gonna be here when you're gone.